understand how these government agencies work is they find the smartest people in the world and then essentially try and force them to work for them. Right? It's not people don't grow up dreaming of working for the CIA. They become a god tier coder and then they get headhunted by the CIA and they say, basically, you have to do some work for us because you're an American, aren't you? You don't want to be a traitor. You a communist? Work for us. But it doesn't mean those people aren't free-thinking individuals who are of a distrust of centralization and authority. You know, both can be true. Case in point, John McAfee. John McAfee literally hacked fucking the US government, but he also worked for, I think it was the CIA as well. He did work for the CIA. And we all know how much of a fucking renegade G John McAfee was. Or maybe he is. Maybe he's still alive. Who knows? That'd be pretty G. But, on the side tangent, big side tangent, the Asians were the first and the earliest adopters of Bitcoin. The vast majority of Bitcoin mining very quickly migrated over into China, all the way up until 2021 when they banned it. But outside of that, Asians have always led the way in crypto. And so, also, the capital markets in China especially are terrible. Right? The Chinese stock Shanghai Composite Index, it's just fucking dog shit. The state of it. They don't have free open markets. It's literally a centrally planned economy. It's communism. They don't have markets where the average person can participate and just invest in the SSE and make money over time, right? Sure, it's gone up since the 90s, but it's gone down since 2007. So not really a great investment. Whereas crypto is open. Truly free markets. As you can see through all the manipulation, as you can see through the big crashes and the big pumps, no one person can control it. So the Asians typically have always been big crypto users, crypto adopters, crypto traders, crypto investors, whatever. And so if there is a positive move based on the Chinese New Year, we're just stacking catalysts here, right? We're just looking at what can possibly be a positive catalyst. There's that. There's the Super Bowl where there'll be a lot of ads. Bitcoin will be in the news. We also just get into February, right? New month. We've got January out of the way. January currently, as we're rapidly approaching the monthly close, which is going to be tomorrow midnight. So today's the 30th, tomorrow's 31st. Look at this. Remember that just a few days ago? I think replay mode will probably show it. Here's how the monthly candle has developed throughout the month so far. Right, there's, what's this one? November. There's December. And here's January. Oh. So January was like this. A week ago, 10 days ago. And we can see it gradually improving to where we are now. So it's funny because a lot of people were sharing this ultra bearish monthly candle whenever there was still 10 days left in the month. A lot can happen in 10 days. And a lot has happened. So regardless of how it closes, I think it's unlikely that it's going to close at the highs. If it could close above 45, that would be insanely good because that would close above December's high. But look at that. Take the noise away. Bitcoin's in a strong uptrend. Now, monthly, loads of room for a monthly dip, but it would just be a higher low, and then away we go. So, yeah, looking good. I think the best possible thing that could happen would actually be some sideways consolidation because, as you can see, when it just goes up, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green months. 7th month we top out, big crash. Working on our 5th green month here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we just go 6, 7, we'll probably get to all-time high, but then that's probably it for a while. Like it's probably going to have a significant correction then. So I think one of the best things that could happen would be actually a couple of months of trading within this area. So if we spent February and March trading within this area, April, then we get the halving, and then May we start to move up after the halving, and then you start moving higher. That would be mega bullish, right? But that could lead to some choppy sideways, and that is what I expect. That is broadly my expectation, and that would be good for me. That would be fine. That would be healthy. That'd be, pretty much exactly what I want to see. Nothing about that would have me overly concerned. What else have we got here on these monthly bands? I'll go to the highest time frame chart we have. We got this. We got Bitcoin, which sold off through its bear market all the way to the 100-month EMA. That was the bottom. We then reclaimed the 50-month, which is the purple line, held above that for 6 months, mega bullish, and then pushed higher. Our monthly bands went red, green, red. That monthly green flip was our big catalyst. Talked about that several months ago. Really, really good. As you can see, every time the bands have went red, it's happened, I think, 3 times. Every time the bands went red, here we go, red and then green, that started a new bull market. Here we go in 2017, 2018, 19, going into 2020. They went from green to red to green, started a new bull market. Obviously, of course, you can have some dips and all that, but the bands, the monthly bands, I don't suspect that they will go red again. So, of course, we can pull back, we can go down, that can all happen. And even then, looking at this, I would say the most probable thing I would see would be that we trade within here and the bands catch up before a next move. Right, where the bands come up, price hits them, and we hold the bands, or maybe they go a little bit more like that. However it looks, it's a bit messy trying to draw the whole thing, but you get the rough idea. I would say that we could hold within this monthly will act as a range. So you can draw, I would say if we draw a box around this month, once it closes, I would say that sets up a pretty fair trading range for a few months. And then if Bitcoin goes, for its usual, Q2, Q3 is a bit more choppy sideways. Q4, we then break out. That would be like a repeat of 2020, where we, October, November, December, Q4 is when we started to push higher. If that happened, that would also line up with probably price coming up into these bands, holding them, and then pushing up. So overall, looks good. Total 3 itself, still looking very healthy. I've talked about this now for several weeks. Your downside is relatively limited. Your upside is pretty substantial. And I think weekly, if I look at the EMAs, hide the drawings. Weekly uptrend bands holding. So when you go through a bear market and the bands are red, you then try to bottom out, your bands flip green, they go red again, they go green again. That's one of the best patterns you'll see. We've had that. We flipped this bear market range from resistance into support. We're holding. We had a nice reversal last week. We're looking strong here. So again, my main case for alts is still the same, which is not moon straight away. Still a bit of chop. Push towards the highs, drop back a bit. Form a proper base, right? With 12 weeks, 13 weeks, 14 weeks of rally. Then you have some consolidation that can go for months potentially before your next rally. So don't be surprised if that happens. But a lot of it will be driven by what happens, what are the actions of the Fed and the Treasury. Like if the global liquidity keeps rising, they keep printing and pumping the markets are going to keep going up. That's what really matters to us. So overall, everything's looking pretty good, pretty healthy. Let's see if people have been chasing in. Funding rates starting to tick over into positive territory for a lot of coins. So there's definitely some signs of healthy, I would say healthy speculation coming back. Bitcoin just above average. Ethereum just above average. Solana just above average. Just above neutral, I should say. Sui. Ordinals below. API 3 below. Doge way above. Doge doing some weird shit. Fuck Doge, man. Why do people keep trying to trade Doge? Doesn't make sense. AVAX above. Manta has picked up. It's a new launch, so it's a bit different. Ripple, Cardano. So you can see here, for sure, this has changed now from just a few days ago. And if you go and look at the funding rate global, so you've open interest, funding rate. You've open interest global, funding rate global. And we look at Bitcoin, OI and funding. This is just, if you're wondering why did I get long before and why am I exiting most of it now? Because of this. You want to enter when people are fearful, when they're neutral funding, flat funding, no open interest increases, and then be looking to exit when they start to get safe again. They feel safe. Altcoins looked like this when I was getting long Bitcoin. Altcoins were literally negative funding. Now, altcoins are back above neutral. Open interest has risen from 8.9 to 10.3. So we've added 1.4 billion of altcoin OI since that point. Bitcoin has added 10.3 to 11.1. So Bitcoin's only added 800 million. So look at that. The difference of Bitcoin versus altcoins. Altcoin have added 1.3 billion. Bitcoin's added 800 million. That is a massive disparity. The altcoin market is now almost as big as the Bitcoin market for open interest, yet it's increasing faster. So to me, I don't see how this goes much further without a pullback on alts. And the fact that we've bounced off the lows with no real pullback so far, and you see alts rising up and people starting to get YOLO long alts again, it's just the same thing playing over and over again. They're going to be wrong yet again, like they're always wrong. But it doesn't mean we go to zero. It just means that, let's take Solana for example. You know, the average person who looks at this and thinks, I don't want to buy, like what the funding is telling you, right? Whenever we were getting long Bitcoin over here, nobody wanted to get long Solana, right? As you can see by the funding and open interest. Now, when it's gone up only to 104, people want to get long now. You can see this through the funding, through the open interest. So they won't get long here, they will get long here. This is why these people just never make money. I don't know, maybe it goes higher, it could. But at some point, I'm sure that it comes back down and just retests. And even if it's just a higher low and then we move from there, right? It's just the average person, always, the average trader, the dumb money, they just lose. And they lose because they can't buy when it feels scary. And they can't sell when it feels good. They're the opposite. They buy when it feels good. They sell when it feels scary. But that, if you're starting to buy into Solana 30% off the lows, you're at risk, so much risk. Just even a pullback. Just a pullback, not a new low. Just a pullback is 20%. That takes out almost everyone on any kind of leverage. So, caution over the next few days, week or two. People are sidelined, so it can keep squeezing, right? It can definitely keep squeezing a little more. It has to reach a point, one, where there's actually resistance on the chart. So the big resistance for Solana is up here. So it can definitely keep going to tempt people and get them really questioning, shit, why did I panic and sell at 78? And then, down we go, makes them panic and sell again. Then, forms a base and probably breaks. Like, if I see something like that, I'll get quite aggressive on Solana in the reaccumulation part with my spot bags. So that's it. Overall, Tuesday, don't go crazy. I think everyone's going to be waiting on the Fed tomorrow and waiting on the Treasury second announcement tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. I don't think today is a day to be taking big risk. All right, GM. See you later, live stream.